Hello, everyone. Welcome to City States of Klovisa, ; the God War. How are you all doing today?
Doing good,
Pretty hot.
That's a secret meme, CK. How dare you say that out loud?
Come on.
Well, we've already talked about what we went through this week, and it seems like we are all traumatized by the holidays and today. But I thank you for managing to get here. We've lost Devin, unfortunately. He is
John, you're way to bully Devin even when he's not here.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know he won't watch the VOD, so
Love you, Devin.
he'll never watch the VOD, let's be real. We still miss Nick, also known as Rumble Roar. I hope he's doing okay wherever he is.
Back next week, I hear.
Back next week. Just in time to wrap up for our God War. 20 months of God Warring has occurred.
Where we end in an epic rap battle to wrap it up, get it?
A rat battle with the rap battles. Alright. Guys, what happened last week?
Still did an amazingly cool thing and shot a flippin' fireball that was set on nuke mode and took out half an army that was coming at us from the rear.
Yeah.
And then everyone else just did their best.
And then everyone else was fighting, like, well...
And since it wasn't very good, Sil had to step in again, and then what happened, Sil?
Yeah, what happened at the very end, Sil?
Yeah.
You done fucked it up.
No, everyone else fucked it up, so Sil had to...
I did not, actually. I'm proud to say I completed, Sil completed the greatest, backstabbiest thing you could ever do. And I sacrificed... Who, you may ask?
Who?
Who?
Who is it?
A Birdman.
Who? Omega Lol?
Jerome.
Jerome?
Oh my god.
Was Jerome proud in that moment? I'm pretty sure he's just proud. A proud papa.
I like to think so too, because that's literally the key tenet in the entire shtick of his thing, was that you just, at some point, you have to do,
The
You
backstory.
gotta do the deed.
Yeah.
Gotta betray someone.
Gotta betray someone, and I think this is a pretty, like, solid one. It was this or kill one of you guys, so I mean...
Yeah.
I'm into it.
You know what? Fair enough.
Okay. Well, as we all know, it is time, finally time, to begin our next to last session. Let me go ahead and set the scene for you all as the rain of Maelstrom falls down upon you all.
Neil Pastrami.
And
In the
by
rubble.
rain falling down behind you all, or upon you all, I specifically mean the,
building.
exploding building. Debris, wooden shrapnel, glass, ale, people, dead rats, turns into a massive gore bomb of rubble as it explodes behind you all. Why doesn't everyone give me a dexterity saving throw?
Get us started. A little taste of that.
Yeah. I need to find my rain music. Oh, it's raining. That looks like a failure to me on that 10. Dark and stormy.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
You're great, buddy. 10, a 13 is also a failure. A 17 will pass. Whoever 96.024. Is that you, Gibby?
It's 69 420 backwards.
Oh, I see. True.
I'm proud of you. You
First.
said that, like you said.
Oh my god. Thank you so much for your subscription. Apollonic. Oh, and Syl. I don't think it'll truly matter. We're gonna say, for the purposes of speeding this along, Chad auto passes, and since he's a monkey, takes no damage regardless.
He catches it.
He catches the debris because they're all considered projectiles.
Correct, and he stacks them up nicely into a nice
I'm
pyramid.
counting 10, 12, 14 points of piercing and force damage. For my failures, half as much on a success. Does anyone go down from that?
I go down to 93, John. I'm not feeling good.
Wow.
It's 14 on a fail and half is on a success.
It's true. Chad, if he caught it, he would throw it back into the building explosion, and he saves, perhaps by mistake, the sorcerer amongst you all. What's his name? Rarick? Fusefall?
Who knows? Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Some dumb noble.
Some guy. Just some dude.
I think he had teleported away from it, so that's why he doesn't have to roll the deck save.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I thought he used his
Teleported
parts
down the
stuff.
street.
Briefly, for a
Under-
moment, you think Greg, the Rat Man, albino barbarian monster, is going to come back as he turns around at the explosion. But then eyeing you, Syl, you have that almost like hawk-like focus as you two match eyes. You see his perpetuant pink eye in your vision. And then he turns back around and heads off into the city. You have bought your day truce by giving him Jerome, whose neck he snapped in one fateful blow. What are the rest of you doing as Greg retreats and you all... ... Fill in the blank. What's going on?
Alright. Do we chase after Greg?
I'm gonna go for the Prince of Maelstrom and make sure he didn't fucking die from that explosion.
He did not.
Prince of Maelstrom is standing right there.
He is very close to the low double digits and is running towards the building where his team had been in. Moments before the explosion went off.
Before Syl had to do some kick-ass, saving.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to... Then maybe let's regroup with where his group went over into that, opening.
The
Alright?
Toast party and myself round the corner, and is everyone okay? I thought we were fighting.
We were, but then it all blew up. Thanks to the Birdman.
Recorus,
Oh.
you look around looking for Bilbo. Bilbo Fuseflaw, Rarick's uncle, and you don't see him. You look at the exploded building. What do you do?
I think back to the time where we were wandering the halls of his mighty place, and I think that he's probably going to get out at his escape tunnel at some point, but I wouldn't want to give that away. So it seems like I'm not raring to go rescue him, because in my mind I believe he's still safe. I grab at the pendant he gave me, thinking about him.
Give me a 2d6 plus resolve. If you pass, you'll add 2 more steps to this clock.
Thank you.
Go
Thank you,
fuck
John.
yourself, Eric. Alright, moving on.
I got you your
Meme.
2d6, my man.
That's a partial 6.
Thank
God,
you.
I hate partials. Alright,
I'm
moving on.
gonna spend a coin to up it, by the way, because I have all these coins.
Sorry, we don't do that. We have credits in this game system.
Okay, well, I also have those. Credit.
Lei
these not.
Stung, what are you doing?
I'm gonna run those people. I'm gonna try and leap back up to see if those people I left fighting that horde are still alive. Or is that what Eric just came around with?
That is
saying
the
junk?
people that
Those
Eric
same
came
people.
around with, yes.
Alright. Then I'm just gonna follow the people who evacuated into from the explosion and see if they're all alive. Because, like, okay, our numbers got hit hard. I want to see if the people that were fighting the giant things are also okay.
Okay. Will this be an investigation check, a perception check, an athletics check? Well, how are you going about finding these people?
Oh, I just gonna go look to where the prince got blasted towards, and I'm like, they're in that direction somewhere, I know for sure. I'm gonna like use his body like the cartoon skid mark of the explosion, like outprint he leaves on the ground, like that's where they are. That compass this way.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm just gonna roll for the prince then, if you just want to assist him.
Yeah.
That's super cocked. Alrighty, a 12 plus his actually a quite high intelligence score of investigation.
Ah,
He
That's right.
has a circle
I
of
have +3
intelligence.
perception too, so I can
He
help. I
might,
can look.
he might have shit health stats, but at least he's smart.
he's not usually.
Oh yeah, he has a thing on the artificial
No.
intelligence,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
and it's not AI, but artificial intelligence. That's something different.
Literal artificial intelligence.
What's
I'm
that?
so sorry. Can you say that? I must have just phased out while I was doing a really bad joke in chat. So, you're gonna go help the prince. The prince is somewhat decent right now with his intelligence. I think he will find the rubble, the broken down rafters, the bombshell, which has collapsed on his team. The entire roof having sort of caved in. Leishtung.
Does
It's
anyone need,
finally
like,
time to be a barbarian. It's finally
and flip
time
rubble?
to use that strength. Give me
I pick things up and put them down.
your
The way of
best
the
athletics
dog.
check.
Oh god, this is
Oh,
gonna be good.
Tell
No,
me if you
don't.
want to rage and you'll get advantage.
You know I will.
Alright, subtract a rage.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
It was
god.
so needed.
That's
Hey, are you-
Was
That's
it?
acrobatics. not
Wait,
athletics.
what? Am
Same
I?
thing.
Wait, my athletics is plus. No.
Well, at least you have advantage.
At least you have advantage, bud.
There's
Yo.
that
He
19.
rolled the same thing with advantage though. Fucking natural 10.
No way. So I got these rocks off these people, right?
Yeah, you get the rocks off the people.
People good, no hurt, right?
No, they're super hurt. One is one of them is. I think one was doing death saves. No, one was just outright killed. That was what it was. Okay.
Damn.
Is there any of them that are like we know like they're gonna die to where if I were to like do like a quick stab and no one would notice, I would get the kill?
No,
Jesus.
you are being the most observed right now. For sure, Sil. You just bought peace with a fucking arc demon. There's no way in hell you are not being observed. At least if by no one else than Runt.
Yep. I'm keeping my eyes locked on Syl. Just like unblinking, unfazing, watching him like a hawk, one might say. Scraw.
Alright. You all watch as the crossbowman and the cleric hoist the dead lancer up from the ground. The prince falls to his knees as he looks at his dead friend. He does not say anything. And then Bilbo, along with the innkeeper, push their way up from the rubble. There is a long pause as everything sort of freezes for you all. The thunder booms overhead. The rain strikes down upon your shoulders, runs into your clothes, this omnipresent watery force giving you all a small chill down your backside. Recorus, what's going through your mind right now?
This is the culmination of many years. Of all of the years, I'm thinking back of the trials and tribulations with Bilbo through surviving almost anything, and yet again, still coming out on top, and wondering to myself, is this where it ends? Is this the end of the road for this prince would-be king? And I'm thinking as to maybe we I lock eyes with Bilbo in this moment, and he's always been that person who's been there for me, and maybe he and I take over and backstab the prince when he goes to take power. But we are currently on the mission of putting the prince in power, but in his moment of weakness, in the future, maybe we can take that power for ourselves.
Oof. Hiding your ambition through the glint of an eye, we focus on Lei Stung, standing beside the prince as he falls to his knees. Lei Stung! What are you doing? What are you feeling? You're muted.
Oh, got him. Well, I'm feeling like we got away real lucky. Considering how much like destruction this caused. Like that Archdemon shit is no joke for real. Just his guards at the front gate were just like they could have taken all of us on their own if they really wanted to. If you just mobilized those things. Like fuck, man. This is heartbreaking. How are we gonna like? How are we gonna convince Prince Maelstrom to even do anything after suffering this kind of loss? It's just like, and it's by Syl, someone he doesn't even know, by doing something that's completely unrelated to him. It's so like, it's just tragic, and I feel for him. It's like, not in the way that he's feeling it, but like I understand the loss, so I'm gonna like empathize with him. I think I'm gonna go up to him in solidarity. Actually.
You put your hand on his shoulder as the freeze frame briefly blips forward a moment. Runt! Your prince looks actually sad. He has 3 friends, and one of them is now dead. What is going through Runt's mind? Does this scene give him a little pang in his heart? A tiny
Well, I
little
mean,
stab?
now he has 3 friends because you forgot to include Run. But anyway,
Outside of you.
of course.
The number didn't change, but
Run.
you are right. Damn.
Yeah. He is going to lose sight of Syl very briefly, as he will
That's all I need.
he will go to the prince's side, and he will look at the one person that he thought was kind of an asshole out of the other 3 of the prince's friends. But he will take out. He will just take out a small rock given to him by an old friend that's got many scribblings and writings on it. Some would call them runes, but those people simply can't read. As he puts down one of Kushim's many rocks that he's still holding on to. And he kind of looks up at the prince at a glance and say, "This is a rock of friendship that proves that this person who is no longer with us will be remembered fondly. And as he does so, he will cast the light cantrip on the rock so that it glows.
Oh. Syl, you're heartless. I don't need to ask you what you're feeling. I want to ask you what you're thinking about. This is a moment. But just a moment. Less than a minute, even. What is going through your mind?
Actually, Syl's a little worried.
Yeah.
Because I just took out my patron.
It's true.
Yeah. And then trying to remember the words of an old great wizard about trying to work on my quest to become a lich myself, and you have to defeat another lich. So, I'm hoping that if am able to check that box off, maybe I can continue to push forward then.
Maybe. Just maybe.
But, since we're still... no, never mind.
Never mind. Well, now that I have successfully, like the Rings of Power, built up a sad scene no one is invested in, I will also do the immediate Rings of Power thing and cancel it all out, because Syl gave the barkeeper a 300 GP diamond to cast the Revivify spell when he was a healer. He held on to that diamond, and since this cleric, although she didn't have any sort of spell component, just by sheer chance, Bilbo, our great, beautiful 100 IQ wizard, realizes what's wrong, throws the diamond, and they cast Revivify on the guy. Nothing of consequence happened. This moment was meaningless. Man, don't you hate D&D?
But John, where's my clock at?
Your clock is completed. Congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
was all the it was an emotional clock.
So stupid.
I'm sorry you lost
It
me.
was really stupid, and I'm so sorry for doing this bit. I thought it'd be a lot funnier than it was.
I thought it was
I'm
great.
having a good time, though.
Basically, what you're showing us is that Syl saves the day at each and every moment.
Bill
Not
really
once,
is.
not twice, but
Today
thrice.
continues to be a fucked up day.
It's
It's a
true.
fucked up day.
As this Lancer, the one guy you didn't like in the group, is brought back to life, you look at your rock, you casted the light spell.
What a fucked up day.
What a fucked up day.
I'm gonna look at Runt. I'm gonna go.
Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna go. I can't lose. And I go over to the prince. I'm like, I'm so happy that they were able to find my spell component, so we could revitalize one of your best friends.
He places a hand on your shoulder, Syl. Thank you.
No way.
You're going to become the hero of Maelstrom after this.
It's ending
You've
like this
saved
for
my
real.
friend's life. You've warded off the demon. What do you want? What can I give you as a reward? Syl.
You know what? I have two requests, if that's all right.
Name
One is simple.
Ugh.
Don't fuck up being a king. I feel like that's a fair statement. You're gonna fuck up, but just remember, don't be a dick. That's the number one rule in the world. Two, I would like you to put an official decree for Runt to be a part of that first circle bullshit up at the top, tippy top, and give him like a pedigree bullshit. Make him.
You want me to make your companion a noble instead of you?
Yes.
That is the most selfless thing I have ever heard anyone request of me or my father.
I'm gonna lean down the run. He's getting away with it. He's getting away with it. I cannot believe it.
Leishtung, you turn to run, and I think his face matches Gibby's right now. Of just, he wants to say something, he's concerned and confused, but he just can't find voice or words to describe his internal doubt
What
that
a
he now faces.
fucked up day.
The Prince of Maelstrom hugs you, Syl.
I give him a nice big hug back. And it's for 30 seconds because a real hug lasts for 30 seconds.
You want to hug him out for 30 seconds?
He's had a rough day.
He really has, and also he's
Yeah.
never been touched more than like 6-second increments.
Honestly, I'm not surprised. After 10 seconds, he starts sobbing, and then all of a sudden, the daddy issues start coming out. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
It's a
Still, you
sad
begin to
direction.
cry as the daddy issues come out. I mean, Jerome
You
was
see-
essentially your father, and, you know, he's dead now, and you killed him. And now, the Prince Maelstrom, he has to go kill essentially his father, too, because he is his father, as his biological father. So, you two are just gonna be dad killers here together.
Regicide.
John, during this this touching moment between the prince and your boy, Rarick comes running back around the corner and sees this betrayal.
Yes. Rarick.
And like
Where's
Gibby,
my
has
hug?
no words but to slink in like he was always meant to be part of the crew. And stands way too close to the prince, as if he's just about to
Hang
come
on,
in
I'm
for the
gonna
hug
call.
too. And
Good luck.
and he gets pushed away by Syl. Like, no, this is me. This is my moment. Get away from it. Get out of here.
Poor Rarick. Rarick is rebuffed and rejected once more, just like in every other situation he's found himself in.
What's that, Rick? You wanna donate funds to erect a statue in my honor?
Of course, he says, anything that will make the prince happy.
Charge my father.
As the rain pours down, Bilbo lets out a cough with his one surviving gang member, also known as the Tavern Keeper. He hoists the man up, who has 2 broken legs. Coughs out, "Hey girl, can you help?" The cleric turns around, casts a healing word, and as we all know, as the innkeeper comes down to up to 1 hit point, he's 100% combat effective.
That's right.
Bilbo quickly states to his nephew, "We should leave. This place is not safe anymore." And so they leave, heading towards the palace.
That's gonna be safer.
Indeed. What are the rest of you doing?
Consolidating my equipment, trying to figure out what we need, what I have. Since I can't heal anymore, obviously there's no rest for the wicked at this point. So I let the group know. I'm like, hey, I have 6 health potions. I have 1 greater healing potion left. That's all I got. So you guys start. The 3 of you take 2 health potions.
I've added 2 healing potions to my bag and say we should catch up to them. I believe our final encounter is waiting that way.
Yeah.
Give me some plot. The plot is over there. We should follow
The
it.
plot is over
Oh yeah,
there.
we should definitely just go follow them.
Oh God! Why is there a save point right by this front door?
It's so that John can put some more clocks down. It takes a
Indeed.
moment.
That is how this works, as we all know and love this new system we're running.
Oh God!
Knives in the Dungeon, as we are currently playing.
Why do I hear boss music?
Yo, D&D
Knives Out,
Clue,
Dungeon
is
Master.
that next campaign, John?
Maybe.
Boggers.
You all follow Bilbo, Rarick, and the Tavern Keeper. Prince Maelstrom and his cohort carrying their injured but alive friend who was impaled by a rat ogre. Awful business that. The hunters are following behind you from Tolst. And eventually, you will come to a very familiar house. Not the palace itself, because the palace is a danger zone right now. but a certain house that has the emblem of an assassin family that you are all familiar with. Well, maybe not Lichtung. I don't remember if CK was there.
No, he was still a hot dog.
He was a hot dog. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm holding back from making like a really bad cringe reference.
I see. Recorus, you remember this house, right?
I do remember this house, John.
What the fuck was this place called? I can't remember.
All I remember
Great
is
question. Let's see if I wrote it down.
it made things so much easier, and I had to give them my bag of my fanny pack.
Yeah. I see crack house explosives complete.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
Crack
You
house.
guys are hanging
What
out
was the
or-
name of the assassin's place that we went to?
And you missed that the prince also swore to make me his right-hand man, his
Hand of
executor.
the king. Gotcha.
Yeah, the hand of the king.
Epic.
Gibby, do you remember the assassin house place?
Let me check. I have it somewhere.
Yeah, I've lost track of my notes.
Too deep in the folders.
It's, yeah, essentially. On the bright
So
side, it's
many.
the 1st of May right now.
Happy birthday.
Whatever this place is called, I'm forgetting myself. Maybe it doesn't even matter what their names were.
How about Manor of Mixed Stabbies?
No, that's cringe. They had a once popular name. Knocking upon the gate and then ringing the buzzer because that's more polite. You will all see a familiar manservant come out of the front door, open the gate for you. Greet Rarick, his once past ward, who he served. This is Argyle, your most loyal and favorite manservant of all. He already has a tray of soy milk lattes for each and every one of the guests before him. All, I want to say, like 15 of you at this point, because you guys are rolling deep right now.
Big squad.
Yeah.
Bilbo will be stopped at the gate, however, as Argyle asks, what is your visit here today, my good sir? Bilbo says, my most loyal manservant, we seek the lady of the house. I demand a favor. And Argyle nods his head. Please, all of you line up in the lobby. There's a strict dress code that is being enforced this night. It is the 1st of May, after all.
Where's the dress codes? Always a place with a dress code. I like
We
the
have
sound.
dress codes, he says.
Can you just remind us how Chad would tell him, you can run away. Here's more money. Go.
I'm sure Chad would give him all the money possible in his character sheet. Let's just delete all his 355 gold.
And that wouldn't convince him.
It's what
Not
Chad
actually
would
doing
want.
that, Nick.
It's what Chad would want.
Argyle begins to cast prestidigitation over you all to dry you out, or at least get your clothes a little less muddy and murky and debris laden, or undebris laden. He then begins to hand out bow ties to essentially everyone here, regardless of if they have a collar or not. And if you guys don't know how to tie your bow tie, he will then do that for you as well, until each and every one of you has a bow tie on. Bilbo already had one, of course, because he's dressed prim and proper. He was expecting to come here at some point, it seems. Before the night went out. Before the night went wild, I suppose.
For a different kind of wild night.
Indeed. It is
Can
the
I
1st
have-
of May, after all.
May I hand Argyle back the bow tie?
Why do you want to hand him a bow tie?
Because, sir, I have the hat of disguised self.
Oh,
And I'm gonna put it on, and I'm gonna disguise myself in Cinderella's dress.
nice. You do that, and he puts a bow tie around your neck.
You know what? That's fair. I had that coming.
Okay. As he strangles you a little, tightening it around your throat. He quickly moves on to the hunters and says, I will now go get the lady of the house. She was expecting you, Mr. Bilbo. but not so many guests. Additions. Bilbo nods his head in understanding. And we can begin a short rest.
Woo.
Who wants to take a short rest as I just roll 10d6 for Rarick?
Wow,
Him.
all 7 damage that I took from the explosion of the house has been healed.
55, so he's at 75? Yes. Rarick's up to full. He goes to 1 hit dice. Chad. 6.
Oh, nice.
56.
God damn.
62. And then 64. There we go. Chad's at full after 4. He gets 1 back at the end of a short rest. Okay. Very good. The night passes somewhat uneventfully. Eventually Argyle will take you to more remote places of this house. He'll keep you away from the red room / red parlor, where meetings are taking place. That door will be firmly shut and locked. But he'll take you around to the dining area, shift some tables and furniture, throw down sleeping bags, cots, stuff like that, bedrolls. So that you all may lay down, stretch out, and just take in the fact that the lower quarter of the city of Maelstrom has been overrun by rats, and the local populace is left to fend for themselves.
It's a dangerous time in Maelstrom. I don't think Maelstrom has seen a threat from outside like this. It's usually the threats from inside.
Exactly.
I mean, we've seen this kind of stuff before back in my day. Let me tell you what. If there's a horde of some mythical creature and whatnot, you got yourself there, a fiend. Now, I've been a big experience with this kind of thing. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Alright? Just gotta kill enough of them. And the fiend will know their place. You gotta show them who's boss. Alright?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you inspiration in my game. That was fucking hilarious.
You know, that's great advice. If only they followed that advice in the City of Blinding Lights.
It's true.
Too soon?
Which, by the way, no one ever thought the City of Blinding Lights, Run says, was ever going to fall. One of the most ancient, cultured places on the entire continent. So
Yeah.
I would say that although Maelstrom has one of, if not the most strongest military on the entire continent, stranger things have been happening in these past several months. Nothing is sacred and nothing is certain.
Nothing is certain. The rain does not let up throughout the night, nor will it ever, so long as the king and his assumedly prince maintain the line of royalty here. However, in the morning, some good news does come from none other than the assassin woman herself. This strange, pale-faced, let's call her a beauty, for lack of a better word. She might not be as hot as that one guy, all the way in Alcazan. Ricardo, I believe his name was. Rodrigo, excuse me.
Rodrigo, sir.
Ricardo's a different guy.
Yeah, Ricardo's a different guy who was just as hot, if... No, he's not anywhere close to Rodrigo. But still, she has that air of danger around her, which everyone does find somewhat attractive. Is she going to rip my head off this morning? But as you all wake and sit around this dining room table where Argyle is handing out soy milk lattes as well as I guess, croissant sandwiches with some
Croissant.
cheese and ham mixed in the bread. Meat buns, if you will. She looks to none other than Runt. My guest, Runt.
Yes.
I have heard strange tales from a friend of mine far to the west. It seems that Ugarest has decided on who their next ruler will be.
Is that so?
It's true.
Please do tell.
I'm told I'm told the Archon himself had his head drop kicked off by a strange priest, a foreigner from a long distant land.
Ron can't help but chuckle at that. Was he by any chance by the name of Le France?
That is what I have heard, but it seems like he has disappeared soon after drop kicking the Archon's head off of his body. It seems that it happened in an escape tunnel as his palace was overrun by the White Maiden's forces.
This is certainly some news that I was not expecting.
Indeed. It seems that after a brief period, they will be joining forces with your city-state.
This is excellent news. I'm hoping on some personal business that perhaps during this time there may be some freedom of movement towards Ugarest. As Tolst and Maelstrom, or at least the Prince of Maelstrom, are somewhat aligned. And that this more or less one-sided feud between them and you, and by you I mean us, Maelstrom, can be put... He just kind of like shrugs. It's like, look, everyone knows that Ugarest is just a bunch of bitches.
This is true. There is a hum of agreement from all the Maelstromians, as well as most of the hunters from Tolst.
But they do have some really rich stuff, which is probably why we've been plundering from them. But anyways, there are some people in Ugarest I would like to see perhaps attend a wedding that I hopefully have not yet missed.
I see.
Between a loose cannon of a cop and a
Yes.
once armor wielding, infinite darkness seeing, very handsome fuckboy that I once knew.
Well. The conversation trails off a little bit after the assassin brings up some geopolitics that she found interesting.
Runt will discuss them with her, but it'll be just more be like a side conversation to what everyone else is doing.
In the meantime, the Prince of Maelstrom.
And
So.
his buddy Phil.
Who's ready to infiltrate the palace?
My brother, I'm born ready. I'm so ready to go.
I see.
Who isn't ready to call you king as I look around the room?
Yes. Who? Indeed.
Indubitably.
Bilbo's eyes dart left and right.
As I look around the room, I stare directly at Rarik.
Rarik just stands up and starts singing the national anthem of Maelstrom.
No, his mouth is too muffled because he's too busy literally licking the boots.
True.
Oh yeah, half.
But you're not wrong.
Well, after what transpired last night, I don't think we have any time to waste. I don't know how much time your truce has bought us, Syl, with that demon rat who seems the enemy warlord. I have one idea that comes to mind. And I can only think of one person here who could accomplish making the biggest distraction to get us inside the palace as possible. And his eyes focus hard on Rarick, who looks up. What?
What?
Your father has been promoted to the town herald. He has been saying all of my father's news to the noble citizenry that we have. Not the peasants, of course.
What has he been
You
saying?
need to have a heart-to-heart with your father in the public square and make it so dramatic that you draw the eyes away from the gates so that we may sneak in. Can you do this, Rarick? And Chad, sensing the drama that can transpire in this one moment, starts to fucking laugh maniacally and volunteer that Rarick will do this. And he will ensure that Rarick does this. Rarick looks down. But then I can't see the elemental. Aren't you going to the shrine? And the prince nods. You will be doing a bigger service for us, Rarick and Chad. And as John gets them the fuck out of the narrative for a brief moment. And this session. This is the plan. Once we are inside, I will try to lead us back all the way down to the shrine. And then from there, I don't know what will happen, but perhaps I will become your king.
Perhaps.
There's
Hopefully.
silence after Runt speaks.
I mean, people have died for less, so.
It's true. Okay. Any plans that we want to do before we head inside? You know how games sometimes say complete any bonus objectives before going forward?
You won't be able to look back, right?
Yeah.
Can we do like a montage of me and the prince just having like my good old buddy, you know, where we're just two best friends and we're just going, you know, doing random like, oh, you.
Yeah, around the, like, assassin's house, you two are, like, doing
Oh,
dishes,
it's
and
the
you drop a
best
plate, and he's
friend.
like, oh, Syl! You
That's
help
funny.
him tie his shoes.
I don't know if it's much of a bonus objective, but Runt will find kind of like a balcony that he's allowed on, one that leads outside, and he's going to kind of meditate with the doors open, still sitting just on the edge of the inside so the rain isn't constantly pouring into his face. And he's going to sit and he's going to meditate, sitting with his legs crossed. He's going to have both of his palms out, one on each leg, and he's going to try to channel the two arcane powers that he's learned to grasp in his adventures: power of darkness and the power of lightning. Having learned to turn invisible and learn to channel the elemental. And he's going to use this power to try to remember in memoriam the various aspects of his life and the life of another who he thinks has, although he knows is immortal, the short-lived life of Jerome, who had basically had gone through some shit, to put it lightly, and seemingly had one this one chance at freedom to be who he really is, uh, without any control. And even though he hated him with a passion, and doesn't understand why some fat fuck named Beef Swellington threw away his goddamn lightning staff for no good reason, uh, he will think about Jerome, not about who he is as a person, but the circumstances of his life, the experiences he must have had, and how all of that has evaporated, and how a similar thing is happening with him, or feels like it will happen soon, where everything that he has gone through and has experienced will be evaporated, turned to dust by a lightning bolt.
Okay. You meditate. Wait, Sean, Rarick? Or not Rarick, Rikoris, anything you want to do?
That was really
Uh,
heavy.
Yeah, I haven't really been inside the Assassin's Guild before. Always looked up to them. They've always been known as being incredibly dangerous. I would look to pull aside one of their members, if not the top
Yeah.
lady who had come by and talked to us before. But
You find
I
her
would.
in her red parlor with Argyle listening to her every request. There is some sort of faint red light glowing here, giving a very... It's almost as if you're in one of those photo development rooms right now. It kind of hurts your eyes
Oh
as you
yeah,
look at her.
yeah, because you have to have you could do a black and white, so you could do a red light. Yeah, yeah, I get you. I come in and I say, lady, if it's not too much, I could use a moment of your time. When you have a moment, when you're done with Argyle.
Argyle is the most important servant I have ever had. What you can say in front of me, you can say in front of him, guest of my house.
Thank you. I walk in, I stay standing, and I say, in this moment where the prince that would be king is going to aim to become king, killing the king may not be so easy. Is there any way I could purchase some fast-acting poison or something fairly dangerous to get the job done swiftly and quickly? Maybe a future favor.
She looks at you, studies you for a time, Chorus. To give you a poison that would injure our king is not an easy task to do. What you ask for is of considerable wealth, and to my understanding would conflict with what Bilbo hopes to achieve.
Everybody has their own hopes and dreams and desires, and if you are positioned appropriately and correctly to seize the opportunity that it presents you, isn't
Why
that
don't
what
you
we
give
all are
me
here for?
a beautiful persuasion check?
You got it, John.
Just don't roll like shit.
21.
Okay. 21 is pretty good, and you are a very skillful fighter. She could indeed have use of your services in the future at some point.
Yeah, my monologue in terms of persuading her goes on to talk about that the future king would have no problems with what we are discussing now, as that would be the past king's problem. That person wouldn't be king anymore. So I don't think there
Assuredly.
are
Argyle,
any much
go
issue there.
and grab me that one thing. And after a brief moment, Argyle skulks away. In silence, you two stare at each other with this menacing red light. And Argyle comes back with a simple vial filled with this black and purple toxin. I will not tell you what this is, but if you are able to coat a dart with it, and then have it inject within a person's vital organ, you can potentially kill them in one hit. It ignores the energy field that protects us all. Granted, they'll still get a saving throw, but who knows?
Yeah. It looks like there is enough for 1 dart, 2 darts.
A dart is like a thin needle on a big weighted fin, essentially.
Okay.
In
I
theory,
didn't know
there
if,
could be 4, maybe 5 uses. This is not a cheap gift to give away.
Yeah. It's like a nail polish size kind of thing going on. Yeah.
I will... Well, I won't preface this, but if they resist it the first time, the second won't do anything, as most poisons work.
Good to know. I will make sure that it is applied liberally.
Well.
And if I ever got caught with this, or there were any problems that would come back your way, who would you like to take the fall for this?
Bilbo.
Bilbo. Okay. I stare in the eyes and give that knowing nod of, I understand where we're going.
That's true. The lady puts her hand on your hobbit head, much like Galadriel did to Samwise Gamgee, before she stands up and sees you out of the room.
Yeah.
You, now holding your vial of purple and black nail polish, as you described it, has to, well, now you need to go find some darts, I guess.
That's correct, John. I do not have any darts.
Your shit out of
as I'm skulking around, looking at. They have probably up on the walls. They have their mantles of things. Is there a dart game of some kind?
A lawn ornament dart game.
Yeah, or like where it says 1 to 20, and you try to hit the center.
Surprisingly, they have 1. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Not to be confused with the card game.
Yeah, exactly. That's correct.
You steal a dart.
That's right.
Okay. Who are we missing?
Thanks, Sean.
Are we missing?
There's a Leishtung.
We need a Leishtung moment. Leishtung, it's
I believe
time.
he is muted.
It's last downtime,
Hot Dog
right?
Man is here.
The last downtime. You're trapped within a building filled with assassins. You miss your dogs. What's going on?
Yeah. I'm gonna go. As any of our randos have magic, they can scry.
They can scry?
Yeah. Can anyone here scry? I'm just gonna ask to the party.
Phil said he could last time, and so did your previous party member.
Yeah, but I don't know if Syl can do magic anymore. Didn't you kill the guy that gives you magic, or are you still good on doing that? Can you try? I want to check in on the puppies.
Okay.
I want you to know if you have to use a spell slot here, and then you go into the next sequence down a spell slot, you may be a little upsetty spaghetti at me.
Yeah, this is a big ask. This is a big ask.
The big ass.
Cantrip.
I really need to know, because if I don't ever get to see them again, I'm gonna be really sad that I didn't get to at least mentally see where they are and say goodbye.
Was it Rarick is the wizard? What's his name? The sad one. Where is he at?
Yeah, rare.
Cool.
Rare?
Is he
He does not have access to scry. He's a sorcerer.
Oh,
No.
no. Is he just around?
Yeah.
Okay.
He and Chad are preparing to leave to go make a massive distraction.
I put my finger like this and I go pew, and yeah, I'm gonna shoot him. Just
Shoot him.
yep. I still can cast magic.
Okay. Let me go and subtract. Uh,
Oh my
Good
god.
one. That's actually great.
yeah, his AC is 11, so you're gonna hit him.
Wow.
For 15? Oh my god, yeah, alright. You strike him, the magic bolt hits. You still have magic, Sil, look at that.
Huh. Huh. What are
Alright.
you trying to find?
Oh, I just want to check in on the puppies. They should be working with one of the Ozarks. I believe it was Spider Ozark I tipped off to watch the puppies while I was gone. I just want to make sure he's still doing that.
And this is something that needs to be seen.
Yeah, I'm just feeling like I'm worried. We've been out away for a long time. I haven't said hi. You know how long it's been since we've been adults? Are you aware?
Alright.
I haven't seen the puppies once. You know, fast dogs grow their magical dogs. They could be whole ass different dogs now. They could be different colors.
Alright, alright. Fucking crazy people. Alright. I'll take out my crystal ball.
Is still molting?
Feathers are not falling off of him, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what was going on with that.
Okay, who are you trying to scry on? I need you to name me a target, Sil.
The puppies.
Okay. Wei Shang, has Sil seen your puppies before?
Should have, because I've been carrying them around, like, fervently ever since I found them, so I'm pretty sure everyone's seen the puppies more than they've wanted
That's
to.
fair. Alright, so he knows, or they... Yeah, Sil knows them firsthand.
John, are we going to ban this spell too? Are we going back-to-back episodes with banning spells?
Nope. I like this spell. This spell's great.
Espionage spell.
I think, just due to the fact of how dirty Lei Stung is, and, well, it's been months, I don't think he'd have, like, any of their hair or anything still on him.
Nah,
Alright.
probably not.
Spoken like someone who has no animals.
Okay, the dogs do not
Pretty.
have a +5 to a wisdom saving throw, and thus you are able to scry upon them. And sure enough, they are in the Tyrant's court. However, they are not next to Ozark, nor are there any Citrons to be spotted. Instead, they are with the Tyrant himself, sitting close to his feet in a kennel.
Oh, why kennel?
Because he doesn't know what to do with them, and like me, the Tyrant hates animals.
Oh wow.
Then why does he keep us around? That doesn't make any sense.
That's true.
He runs a military. He's chosen what he's chosen.
Hey,
The
John,
scry
can I-
soon ends as it is dismissed prematurely.
Oh, I need 50 gold in order to be able to try and see again.
Oh god, does anyone have canes on the...
Are you really going to burn all of your spell slots before you go into the dungeon?
No, I'm trying to swindle 50 gold. Shut up.
Oh,
Here, I have 80 GP, take it all.
Alright, let me try this again.
Spoken by a true person who knows a dog owner.
Nothing.
Or were they bigger? Like, they look healthy?
They look great. They looked like they were having a good time. I think I saw a Mickey Mouse character. They might have just gone back from Disneyland. I don't know.
He means
Wait,
a pleasure
they-
rat, not a
they went
Mickey
across
Mouse.
country?
Pleasure rat. I'm sorry, pleasure rat.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I
Ugaret's
thought you
very
meant
own
somewhere else.
pleasure rat.
You said something that was in a different place, man. They own that copyright.
A pleasure rat. Oh, God.
Alright, I'm glad they're doing good. That settles my heart a little bit. Alright, I'm
With
ready for
your
whatever
heart
now.
settled, and Well, downtime complete. We're going to take our first break here, and when we come back, we are going to make a Prince a King. We'll see you here in a bit, guys. Woo!
Or will we?
True.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for your patience. Guys, Chad and Rarick set out to cause a distraction.
15 health points less.
He plans to take a boombox, blare it in front of the keep until his dad comes out, and then bitch him out for years of neglect and abuse that he suffered. And in doing so, distract the garrison while you all sneak in.
Because everyone on the block loves tea.
John, really quick, how much is it to do one of those thingies to where you would go deep dive into this?
10,000 points.
How much is
10,000
10,000
points.
For a flashback,
You want to do a flashback?
I actually wouldn't mind hearing, like, because if you're gonna do a 16 candles moment, like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm.
you know
trying,
what we can
I am
do?
trying to invest in this, and I really do like where
Next
some of
time,
this shit goes.
next episode, when we have Devin and Nick back, we'll redeem the flashbacks for that. Okay.
Temmer redeemed the
DM them
flashback.
to
the future.
recite
We'll
the
have a
script.
very dramatic reading of like his personal father drama. Okay.
All right, Devin, you hear that, asshole?
Hemmer's redeemed it. We'll do that flashback
hear it.
later, but now we have to
Doesn't watch the
focus.
VOD.
Fine. Go ahead.
Rarick, I'm going to be using his persuasion or deception check. Oh, we're going deception. To get as much attention as possible. And Chad is either assisting him or hindering him. So this will be either at advantage or disadvantage, but not normal regardless. Okay. Well,
As usual, Rarick fucks it up himself.
Rarick will be fucking this up massively. In fact, the fuck up might even be what
Perfect.
draws so many people into it. And you know, how great is it that now that Devin isn't here to do this roll, I know this is what he would have rolled anyway. It only makes
Ooh.
narrative sense that he rolls a natural 1 to do anything social.
Everyone will have to. Yeah, even though he has a +9, we'll have to find out first thing next episode.
Next
How that all
episode.
went.
This is where the flashback starts.
It's
Yes.
true.
How he, and we'll call it, the flashback will be called how he pulled off the greatest heist.
Indeed. As for the rest of you, you may describe to me how you are going to be sneaking through either the front gate, the side gate, or potentially going through the sewers.
Oh,
I think I'm too big to go anywhere else but the sewers. I think me and a couple other big body fellas get some cloaks, hop on down, and try to sneak our ways through.
Okay.
I switch into, I put the little cap thingy on and put me in uniform.
Yeah. I thought you were giving the hat to the prince so he didn't have to look like himself.
Nope, that plane got kinked,
I thought
and
the prince turned it down.
yeah, he turned it down.
Sure.
That whole plane got axed.
I have something to sneak the prince in, but it
Ooh.
requires just me and him alone.
Of course.
Oh. What can you do?
Well, you see, John, I have this thing called flexible casting.
Oh.
Wait,
Or
wait,
I'm
wait.
going-
This is a child program, sir.
Shut the fuck up. I'm going to turn one of my first level spell slots into
Limbo.
two sorcery points, and then
Okay.
I'm going to use those 2 sorcery points to twin cast, which does, or twin spell, excuse me, which allows me to use a spell that targets 1 creature to instead target 2 creatures. I'm then going to use my Shadow Touch feature to cast the invisibility spell, which I can use once for free per long rest, to allow myself and the Prince of Maelstrom to become invisible for 1 hour.
I have magic cylinders. Good luck, GG.
Okay.
John
And
had
your
a
plan
doctor.
is to sneak in through either the side or front entrance while doing this?
Yes. Since he's the Prince of Maelstrom, he will know the best and easiest way to get in, and I will, being invisible, will allow myself to pick through any locked doors while he is our guide.
I see.
You get advantage because the door can't see you, right?
It's
True.
true.
The door can't see me.
The door can't see you, so you get advantage. Is anyone against this plan? I mean, Runt may have the tools to like solo this whole endeavor. Apparently,
Listen, if you want to go for it, you go for it. Right?
I mean,
Here to
I'm
back you up
assuming
if anything goes wrong.
This is assuming other people are also sneaking in at the same time, but this is just getting me and the prince in, like a
Okay.
surety.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can coordinate us sneaking in at the same time?
Yeah, in different ways.
for sure, right?
Yeah.
Clocks exist after all.
Thank you.
I got my mithril
Finally.
watch.
That's true.
Yeah,
You do have a
exactly.
mithril watch.
That must have.
Wait, I thought you gave that to the secret smith.
No, yeah, I definitely did.
Oh,
That's
okay.
gone for sure.
Then Wei Strung can't keep track of time in the first place.
Yeah, so I
have to have
can't.
a
Oh, wait.
buddy.
No, I do have my chain mithril watch.
Oh, you do still have it? Okay, I
Yeah, I
didn't
do
know
still
how
have
much
it.
you gave up to the
I can
secret
still.
smith.
No, I still have it.
That was
All
a
right.
year ago. You gotta let the secret smith go, guys.
He's always in our hearts,
It's always in the hearts.
just like Argyle.
Sure.
All right, so
We
all right, so do you want to set like a
three
certain
potential
time
parties.
that we like within the next like how much time, and then we move, and then we
Yeah.
that's how much that's that time is the time we have to be ready to like knock in the doors that we're sneaking into.
Yeah, so we have three potential parties. There's our party, there's the Tolstians, and then there is the King Maelstrom crew. Each party will take its stab at one of the three entrances to try to get in, and then we will sync up with whoever has made it through.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's best if we take the Tulsk guys, since they're
No,
already our
Tulsk
guys.
They're going by themselves. We have three parties. I'm helping John out here. There's
Oh,
three
okay. So
parties.
wait, they're not part of the three parties. that
Here's
are
what I
going-
They
think.
are.
They're
All
going
right,
entrance-
John's hijacking your strategy plan to
Yeah.
make the most optimal strategy. You all will go through the sewers. The Tulsk people will try to sneak through the side entrance, and the other guys, the Maelstrom dudes, who will not be invisible, are going to go through the front entrance. And their plan is to get spotted, run away as a secondary distraction because they contingency for when Rarick fails, right? Then, if the side entrance people can't get in because they're fucking outsiders trying to break in, they're going to be another distraction, which will then try to escape, drawing even more people away, giving Runt and the Prince ample time to go through it, while you guys have to deal with the sewer guard, because there's no way that there is an actual tunnel that connects to the king's quarters without there being some sort of defense there, surely.
A poop smith, if you
Agreed.
will.
Yeah, a poop smith.
The secret smith all along.
The Scat Squad. That's what they call them down there.
Oh god. While you get into a scat
While we get
battle with
banned
the
off
scat
of
squad,
while we get banned off of Twitch.
we're going to focus solely on Runt and the Prince because honestly, they don't have a way of detecting invisibility or having
yeah.
statues that cancel or have anti-magic fields in places.
I mean, I'm just like I'm like one of the soldiers to go through.
It's true. Well, are you in the sewers still?
No, I went through the fucking front gate.
Okay, so Sill's renegade and is just going to explore with his disguise self hat.
Apparently.
Okay. So while Sill gets lost and then eventually will be questioned as, who the fuck are you? We're going to ignore that for a little while and try to punch through all the juicy drama so that we can end our session on a high note. So, Runt, I think this is just going to come down to a singular roll.
Yeah.
Everything's... Well, you two are invisible.
Yeah.
I think you need to make me a stealth check not to be spotted.
Oh my god.
And you know what? You're going to have advantage because the door can't see you.
How about a 31, John?
That's
What the
quite
fuck?
good. A 31's quite high. Let's see what the Prince rolls. That's a natural 18,
Hell yeah!
and then a natural
That-
8.
A natural 19 and a natural 18. Let's fucking go.
The Prince is not very stealthy, but he does have 16 dexterity. sneaking behind you, holding your hand, so you two don't get separated, because you can't see one another, but you can see yourselves, which
True.
is kind of weird. You skulk through the halls of the palace of King Maelstrom, making a joke that the palace is also called the Maelstrom, much like the ship the
Huh.
Maelstrom.
Made
You
by
will
the man known as Maelstrom, King Maelstrom of Maelstrom.
King Maelstrom, Prince Maelstrom, who live inside Maelstrom Keep, inside Maelstrom the city, inside of Maelstrom the country.
Inside of Maelstrom the Storm.
Yeah, not the storm of the Maelstrom, where the Maelstrom ship can be found.
I hate this.
That's how you summon a
I,
Kraken.
I can't believe English
Yeah.
or common or whatever.
Or just
How do they
John
do
in
this?
general.
John,
He
what's wrong with
he
you?
asks like what you think. What do you think about like their anti-scrying technique of just naming everything the same thing, so that whenever you try to scry on the Maelstrom, the spell just has no effect. Because
Honestly, God tier.
thank you.
God tier
He
Giga
stays.
Braids.
That's pretty meta, yeah.
Walking through the corridors and halls as alarms start to go off and you all duck behind a pot or some sort of awning, you watch as the guards, the city or the palace guards, begin to run down. Some of them comment like, "Oh, we've got another rat infiltration, ha ha ha." One of them also says, "I'm just going to preemptively grenade the sewers," and hands the grenade man who goes to the local manhole to start throwing grenades into the sewer system. But we're going to worry about how Leishtong and Recorus managed to solve that issue later. They've got
A
enough
future
hit
us
points. They'll
problem.
be fine, right?
Oh, gosh.
They just walk straight through it.
True. Runt, you and the prince will head down through a flight of stairs, hopping up onto the ceiling when someone tries to pass you by. A wizard, the court wizard, who you've seen before, does not even recognize you are here. He does not have see invisibility currently going, because why would you if you don't know anyone's invisible? Why waste the spell slot? Moving down the hall, going through a lower hall, where tables and benches can be found. This place is some sort of kitchen area. You continue to skulk your way through, seeing the one chef guy who's just like, "Where did everybody go?" It's a sad moment for him, as he realizes all of his hard work has been interrupted by your friend's infiltration, and Rarick bitching his dad out in a public forum. Descending even further, you will find the dungeons, never once used before, but still here. Crossing through the halls, the cells, you will find one jailer who's just like sitting next to an empty fireplace, grisly staring into a corner, having clearly lost his mind at some point. It's quite awkward as you hear him say, "I know you're there," but he doesn't turn around at one point or another. Truly like the Blair Witch. Finally, getting to the catacombs, you will pass long dead grave markers. These bodies are interred within the wall itself and then sealed away. There's nothing you can get, but you just see King Maelstrom, Prince Maelstrom, Prince Maelstrom, Prince Maelstrom, Prince Maelstrom, King Maelstrom, Prince Maelstrom, over and over and over again. Nearly being 6 princes for every 1 king interred within these catacombs.
And we'll look over to the prince and whisper, "Have you had any siblings in the past?"
Not to my knowledge.
And he'll just continue on, pondering.
Indeed. Finally, Beyond the catacombs, far down, you will find a cavern in the lowest part of the keep, naturally made. You can hear the ocean outside, the sea, the gulf that connects to Maelstrom's harbor, as well as the storm above raging. Quite quietly here. You're far too below ground, covered by a palace and all of the rock above to truly hear its storm. But you see its ocean. You hear the ocean waves lapping against the sea wall that you are behind. A little bit of natural light has filtered into this room. But you both are without dark vision and stumbling down a slippery staircase made of natural rock, you will find what appears to be an altar. A disc that lays flat, 5 feet diameter, so that only one medium-sized creature could easily stand on this thing. And it is at that point where your invisibility will fail after an hour of skulking around like a Metal Gear enthusiast.
Yes.
The prince looks distraught as he sees you. Ah!
Run's
Oh.
just like, the spell just ended. Its time wore off. Its job has been done.
I see.
But why are you naked?
Yeah, Prince.
Yeah.
We're sneaking around.
This is a virtuous mission. After making light,
in the simulations.
the prince will state, I haven't been here since I was 5 years old. Nothing's changed. Musing on the sedimentary nature of this cavern, he will look at you. If I'm not back, good luck.
Ron will nod. And he'll say, it was an honor. And I hope it continues to be. Oh, do you want a health potion, by the way? It just kind of takes out like a red flask, saying like, just in case.
Yeah. He takes your
Okay.
health potion.
I think I have a greater healing potion I'll give him.
Okay. Wow, okay. He takes it, sniffs it, nods,
My
and then he
last greater
steps onto the platform. With a thunderous boom, you watch as your prince vanishes. And you wait. 60 seconds pass. That's more than any combat encounter has ever lasted in any battle you've done in your entire life, Runt.
True.
So you're pretty sure he's not fighting anything, or if he is, he's already dead. What's going through Runt's mind as he... I don't know. Well, what is Runt thinking about? Was this the final step of your journey? Getting someone else where they needed to go?
Well, he's thinking about how the only way that he has ever managed to ascend past being a level 1 gutter rat was to help someone else. First, it was being swept away down by the water with Jerome and the staff, and then it was helping the Prince of Maelstrom originally alongside some strange wizard he met when they saw the divination within the crystal ball. And then it was working for the Tyrant of Tulst and then it was helping the Ulathayans with their temple, and then it was helping specifically Arvo, and then it was back to the Tyrant. Everything he has ever done has always been in service to somebody else. There has never been anything Run wanted than to figure out how to complete whatever his current mission is. So now that it seems like his mission is more or less over, and that there is no one else for him to help or to turn to or to serve for the moment, he is just kind of standing there idly and thinking again, going back to sit in his meditative pose, but instead of channeling magic, he will instead take out his notebook of his many chapters of how to make friends, and he will just read through it, all the chapters he's written so far, and then he will just walk up to the altar, and he'll just leave the book there, knowing that it will probably get waterlogged and destroyed within minutes, if not hours, and that the many hours he'd spent writing it and crafting his life experiences that he had hoped to share with others, and how it doesn't need to be shared. That it was okay for him to just have these thoughts and these feelings, and for him to express it in a way that no one else would ever see.
Wow. As you leave the book there, you will begin to turn around, maybe to leave, maybe to go sit back down somewhere else. And you will see him watching your movements from the top of the stairs, lurking within the dark hall that leads to the catacombs. You see his irises first, for they glow with a white-blue lightning coloration. Then, as he takes a step down onto the platform where natural light touches, you will see him. The king you swore service to, swore fealty to, long ago. Large, brutish, looks like he can rip a man's head off. Far too menacing, emanating a natural power as if he himself is a hurricane or a lightning storm. You stare at King Maelstrom, Runt.
He will stare, but this is not the first time they have encountered each other. However, it is vastly different from the last time that they have. Whereas before, he was literally held like a baby in his arms protectively, and now they stand off against each other. And although every instinct, every nerve in his body screams for him to run, stab, or just flat out have a heart attack and die, he stands there stalwart and just stares down, whether it be out of pure paralyzation of fear or just an unbending will. He'll stare down the King of Maelstrom.
Slowly, as you continue to watch each other, the king will descend down the slippery, natural staircase that has been carved out of the sea cave you are in. He will give a very brief monologue, I suppose, not expecting you to respond or interject. Hello, Runt. You have served your purpose well, making it this far. I am glad to see that what I saw within you held true. Congratulations. as he steps onto the same floor as you maintaining your gaze. You're not gonna back down. You're not gonna get scared. You're a level 10, almost level 11 piece of shit by now. You can fight him, right? Right, Ron?
I'm not going to fight him, but if he attacks me, I will defend myself. Is the justification that Runt gives himself. Hoping, praying to God he does not actually swing first.
He stands towering above a little hobbit that he once held like his own baby boy. He looks then to the altar, ignoring you for a moment. I have to go meet with my son. Are you going to get in my way?
Hmm.
Grant, whose loyalty do you have?
Runt will put a hand on his dagger and will simply state commandingly, with every ounce of strength he has, only if you intend on making today his last.
You see the hint of a smirk come up from his bearded face. I do. What will you do, Runt?
Ah! It's been nice knowing everyone. This is the day. It's finally happening. The episode where Runt dies.
He casts Grasping Hand and walks away.
Like the unkillable.
He will take out his dagger.
Runt,
And then
all I need you to say as I roll for initiative.
I will roll for initiative, John.
We close the scene on Runt as we jump to someone else in the court.
Will Runt be Han Solo, or will he be Greedo in this moment?
Or will he be John John?
Rekoris
You
and
see-
Leishtung, you are in the
Yeah,
sewers.
Wading our ways through. I think I'm on his back. 'Cause,
Yeah, you're like
I
a
don't really
you're like
wanna
a dainty
drown.
type, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really want to drown, so hanging
So how come you
on.
never learned how to swim?
It rains here. It doesn't pool here. This is called the thunderstorm, not the Great Lakes of Maelstrom.
Alright,
But
dude.
I just need to know how to swim.
Listen, all you need to know is if you hold in your breath, you'll just float. It's that easy.
What if I just flail until I fall into unconsciousness?
See, the problem is you're flailing. Don't do that.
Well, it's terrifying.
Is it
in there,
a grenade?
Yeah, a grenade drops comically down in front of you.
Hey, what's
Old,
that?
almost World War I styled, like, tossing stick grenade. What do you do, Leishtung, as you see this thing?
Alright, I'm gonna try and rage as fast as I can and, like, turn around and cover your boy before he gets blown the fuck up. Because I'm pretty sure I can take at least one grenade.
We're going under. Submarine mode.
Yeah. Hold your
Okay.
breath!
In Minecraft, when creepers explode and when you're in water, it does
Mhm.
less damage because of the explosion.
You're not, it's a sewer. You're not wading through fucking... The whole purpose is it flows water and liquids down. Alright, give me give me a con save, Mr. Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
You stand your ground against a grenade. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you are going to suffer the full damage, but Rekoris is not. He's not
My
going to
boy.
take anything. You will suffer 15 points of piercing and force damage as a
All right.
grenade explodes nearby.
what am I at? Okay, I'm at
Well,
49.
I guess we better double time it.
Yeah, that stinged like a lot. Let's go.
The
Alright.
grenade went off. You all look at it real quick. You look at the singular tube that leads up to the castle, and then you hear a silly voice echo down. Are you still alive down there, Ratman? It is I, Hans, the Grenadier. You will die down here.
Hans, get a hobby.
Oh, they've learned to speak. Did you hear his echoing cry, Richter?
I urge Lei Shang to like come running with me.
Oh yeah, I'm running. I'm like running. I'm definitely still running with you. I'm just yelling at
Oh,
Hans.
they're going further into my traps.
Oh no.
Lei Shang and Rigoris, you have
It's time, John.
a choice before you. Retreat away from the trap sewer where Hans the Grenadier has been, I don't know, made it his life's mission to stop the sewers from talking. What are you two going to do? Are you turning back or going deeper in to the palace's underground area?
With Lei Shang just taking the first brunt of it, I say I'll take the lead on this, and we should be like
You have
20 feet apart.
danger. I do have danger sense, and I have advantage on dexterity.
I mean, there you go. Well, then you're up.
I can
then you're
definitely
up
look it
first.
through it and trigger all
Alright.
the things.
It sounds like Lei Shang is going to trigger all the traps and die.
Yeah, I'm gonna run
heroically.
down the. Okay, it's not
Run
gonna
it
kill
down
me, John.
mid.
I want a
That's so
singular danger sense dexterity check from you. There's going to be
Okay.
tons of tripwires, pressure plates, and horrible, horrible things going to go off in your
Check this, not
general
20.
direction.
Dexterity saving throw
Yes.
right here. Oh no.
That's really bad, Lei Shang.
Yo, I went
You're
out
doing a
like
great
a Looney
job.
Tunes character.
You're doing a great job.
I can't believe Lei Shang also fucking dies this episode. So sad.
Lei Shang, the first thing you need to know is that Hans, in his goal to keep the sewer from talking, is a sadistic, murderous fuck. He has killed more rats, more rat men, and more rat trolls than any other person alive.
Jesus Christ. What
Worse
the
yet,
fuck?
he has never once been spotted by the rats who he has killed. He is a menace. He guards these sewers as if his life depends on it. This ain't a guy to fuck around with, Lei Shang.
Didn't sound like he's fucking around.
It's time to reach the stage of finding out, John.
It's finding around. It's
You
we're finding
suffer
out today.
78 piercing and force damage. Mixed between... I don't know what your health is. Are you still alive?
All right, I'm at
My question is, does he
49,
take half
so
for
I'm
raging?
out. Oh, do I take half for raging?
I don't think you were ever attacked when the traps went off.
I got hit with a grenade.
He took damage.
Is that how raging
Taking damage
works?
keeps it going.
Yeah.
The 15
Well, these
piercing.
traps are cruel. They're not constantly going off.
Oh, that's a lot of fucking. Never mind.
But you are
but-
quite fast, aren't you? For 1 minute,
Mhm.
pulling every single trap, I think you could get resistance to this. Yeah. Do you have resistance to force damage? Because half of this is force damage.
Oh, half of this is force damage.
Yeah. 78 divided by 2. What is that?
There's the
36.
line.
I think everything but psychic
36.
or something.
You are not a
Yeah,
bear.
if you're total.
Resistance to bludgeon,
Oh, wait,
piercing,
no.
and slashing,
Or-
and if you
no,
have
or-
the totem.
So,
Yeah.
39
if I was fair,
of this,
if I was fair, I'd take the
No.
full thing.
you go down to 0.
Yeah, definitely go down.
Lei Shang, at the very end, your eyes roll to the back of your head as you get to a door. Rigoris, what do you do as Lei Shang falls unconscious before you?
I have. Where's it on here?
The best.
Just don't have
Why
a health
not?
potion.
How do I
Betray.
not have a healer's kit? That's weird. Oh, I have a mess kit. That's weird. I have a character without a healer. I have a health potion. Yes, from Sil. 2d4 plus 2 yourself, Lei Shang.
Did you?
I've marked
Well,
off
mark
one
off.
health potion.
Nice.
Damn, you really done yourself in by marking it off, huh? Because I'm immune to health potions.
So I give it to him.
You watch
Nothing
as
happens.
healing liquid does nothing to Leishjong because he
The
gave
liquid
away.
goes from bright red to dingy gray, lifeless as it gets sucked out of oblivion. And can you give me a death saving throw, Leishton? Because that was my turn.
It's
Lamar.
true. Give us a death
And
saving
Isn't
it'll
throw.
come
that-
back around to me.
Let's see it. Easy peasy, I'm bopping again.
Stands
It was
back
nothing,
up.
guys! I gotcha! Got the double fake out this episode. You
The
thought
one
two
You
hit
have the
point
one
is
hit
not
point,
done yet.
Leishjong! You don't even collapse! You go to a knee, the potion's forced down your throat, you puke it back out as you're like, I don't need a healing potion. You stand to your
Get that
full
shit away
height.
from me. I'm trying to
That's
cut
what you
down
know
on
we do
that.
sit down here, but we run shit down mid and we're fine.
It's just a flesh wound.
Behind the door, you hear a squirrely voice call out, Oh, I think the rat man got to the door! I hope he doesn't break it down and kill me! Oh, no, no, no!
John, I go to just open the door because he probably didn't keep it locked.
Yep, it's not
Yeah.
locked at all.
I
You
open
watch
the door.
as a C4 explodes in your face, Recorus. Please
Oh,
give
okay,
me
I'm
a
ready.
dexterity saving throw.
Dex.
Alright,
14.
here comes the biggest boom of your life.
I'm ready, John.
I'm
Boom me.
John.
I'm sorry?
You already met me.
Yeah, exactly.
True. 47 force damage goes off as you explode Recorus backwards 10 feet. The detonation of this homemade explosive device. Worse yet, as the smoke clears and the door is just blown off its hinges the moment you try to open it. You see
C4,
what was
more like
truly mocking
C4s.
you this entire time. A megaphone that is controlled by a metal tube that runs higher into the ceiling.
I love it.
You look at the staircase that this room was guarding, which leads into the palace.
John, does this pipe going all the way up to the top, does it look climbable? Or is it like go into the ceiling?
It goes up into the ceiling.
Okay, so it's not like climbable up there.
Indeed.
I whisper back to him.
Hello? The voice calls out.
I whisper back to him. Oh, mighty one of the keeper of the sewers, we shall be up for dinner shortly.
I can't wait to meet you.
I carefully step and would like to watch out for whatever is on the way. As if there's a pressure plate on the floor, or if there's a tripwire. I would like to look for that as I'm walking up the stairs.
Give me an investigation check, and by God, do you want to roll as high as you possibly can?
Not perception!
Hey,
Oh,
John.
no.
Remember when I went through all the Hephaestus temples and I was using my 6-foot pole and I was touching everything?
Oh,
Yeah,
we banned those.
Yeah. Yeah, good times.
good times.
I got an 8, John.
That's an 8. I don't think it would have mattered even if you rolled perception with
No.
that natural 8 there.
I would have been a 15.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. You see nothing. You see no traps, no pressure plates, no trip wires, nothing on the walls, no magic symbols, no runes. Could this
I'm ready,
staircase
John.
not be trapped? It has
I
to
put
be
on my
trapped.
shield. I put on my shield to protect me from more explosive damage as I go up the one hand on the wall to brace myself, and one with my shield forward. I
You
go
do
up,
so.
John. Yeah.
Can I put a
Climbing.
hand on you before you take a step? And let me,
Like, Sean,
Let me have
do you
it.
really want to go first?
I tell Aishang, I whisper to him, you still need you alive, buddy.
Are you sure you still want to be alive? Because you doing all this is...
It's not too late. You guys can turn back. All the traps behind you have been set off by Wei Zhang.
Or have
What?
they?
You have provided a distraction. Do you really need to get inside the keep?
Yes.
Based.
Yes,
I
John,
respect
do.
that. I'll let you take the first step. I back off.
Clad in my shield, John, ready for what's coming next, as I know there's something either at the top of the stairs in the next room. I'm ready for it. I step forward.
Rekorus, you climb 3 steps with nothing happening. You can take as long as you want to climb those 3 steps, but those 3 steps are not trapped in any way, shape, or form. The 4th step, as you put your boot upon its stone tile, will slip out from under you. The illusion that it was, having no substance to it. I need you to make me another dexterity saving throw. Your DC is 20 to catch yourself from falling down a slip and slide that will send you into the sea.
I'm ready.
I kind of.
What is the sound Rekorus makes as he goes down a grease-laden chute that sends him into the ocean?
This isn't the first time I've been sent into the ocean, John, and I have
Sure.
my shield. So as I feel my feet falling from beneath me, I tuck and roll and land on the shield and use the shield as a sled all the way out
Based.
to the sea. And as I get ejected from the palace and I'm out over the sea and made enough clearance, I unwrap my arm from my shield and swan dive. Let's see how beautiful that dive is.
Oh my god, it's great.
Oh.
It's above moderate difficulty.
Russia still gives you a 3.
Yeah, that's right.
It could be better.
Could be better.
Leishtong, you
Uh,
hear the scraping of a metal shield against greasy stone. You just watch him phase through the floor. What do you do, Leishtong?
I'm gonna yell, "Are you alive?" I'm gonna see if it echoes down at him.
It does not.
You hear the echo of your own voice call back to you 3 times, and then no more.
One of them might have been him. I think we're okay to keep going.
Based.
What do you do, Leishtong? You're alone now.
At 1
Ugh.
HP.
I think.
You know,
No.
there's nothing left to go but up. So I'm gonna use what I've learned from setting up all the traps. Is there a pattern to how he sets his traps? Actually, from just like running through and like
He is the
launching all
most
that shit on me.
sadistic trap master in the entire world, Leishtong. He is
They're all very
Hans,
creative.
he who talks to sewers. Or he who stops the sewers from talking? I can't remember
The
his title.
sewer whisperer.
He used to be the poop smith, but now he's the poop king.
It's true.
Yeah, as one
The
artist
poop
to another,
empire.
can I tap into his artistry from experiencing it to
Yeah,
detect
give me a
some sort of pattern?
performance. No, give me an insight check. You never do insight.
Insight.
Oh, there you go. With first-hand knowledge.
God damn it, CK.
Yeah.
You figured it out.
No
You
shots.
realize this entire entrance is just a singular trap. He never intended for you to get up here in the first place. You begin to lose hope. You begin to despair. Leishtong,
this-
your dogs will never see you again if you go down. What do you do?
If I go down, like continue past the hole down to our Hans fella, or
What do you do? I don't know what you're doing. You're still on the staircase.
I. So I've learned that there's no way past the staircase. This is all a trap. I'm in a big trap box.
You have been in a trap for quite some time now, yeah.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
Well, every trap has its flaws. I bet there's something he wasn't expecting, and that was for me to not be a fucking rat person. And try to maybe go to one of the whole shoots where he shoots things down and see if I'm big enough to jimmy my way through it.
No. A small rat could fit through easily, but then they would be met
Like,
with a grenade.
on the ceiling?
Uh-huh. Directly above you. These grenades gotta be coming from somewhere. He's been just throwing them down these tiny little grenade chutes. These pipes that are built into the stonework.
You know what? I'm gonna make noise around one of the chutes, and I'm seeing if he throws a grenade down here. And I'm gonna try and throw it back at him.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I'm like, come here, you fucking rat fuck! You piece of shit! I'm gonna yell into one of those like grenade holes, see if he hears me from it.
You
and tries to throw
will
it down
hear
from
the
it.
clanging of metal. This pipe is built into the wall, so it's just like a hole built into the stone. So it's not like you're gonna be able to like eat it back up, but maybe you can wedge it in there somehow. Do you have a way of stopping the grenade from falling down? Do you have like a rock or a, I don't know, magical item or effect?
Yeah, I do
A mace
have
of some
like
kind?
I do have a long sword. Maybe I can just like
Just stick it in there. You know, use the hilt.
yeah.
Just a tip.
Okay. Subtract your longsword.
Alright. My +1 longsword gone.
The grenade, thunk, thunk, and then gets caught on the longsword and explodes within it. There is a rocking of stone, of steel and iron from what this pipe is made out of, as this pipe is now destroyed. You pull out your longsword, give me a 1d20 to see if it survived the explosion.
Alright. Let's boom.
It's safe. It's fine. You still have it.
Alright. I can put that back there. Let's go.
Okay.
I can do this at least one more time.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
There are dozens of these chutes, though. Are you just trying to destroy his traps?
You know
Well,
what?
maybe
If it
make it mad
if I
enough.
can collapse it somehow, maybe ruin the integrity of it, he'll just fuck off.
You're playing a whack-a-mole game with a trap master.
Yeah, that's what I.
He's trapped
Yeah.
in here with you.
Are you
It's
trying
not
to take down the foundation and kill
Yeah.
her?
Oof.
Listen, I'll be fine. There's no way a
He's
little
dead.
crumbling floor is gonna kill me after everything I've been through. All right. This is the least of my worries. I'm gonna take out this fucking grenade fuck.
Alright. Wait, Strong, roll me 1d100.
Oh yeah. John, can I make a special request?
What?
Can 69 replace 100 for this roll
Yes,
specifically?
it can. If you roll a 69, it'll be as if you rolled a 100.
No! Just do off.
For almost an hour and a half, Lei Stung plays a mind game with Hans the Trap Master. Before Hans requests someone with a net or man catcher go down and see what the fuck is going on. Lei Stung with 1 hit point will suffer at least 1 hit point worth of bludgeoning damage as the man catcher strikes him in the chest. He is caught and apprehended by the city authorities. Oh, fuck. Finally, we have
Like a
Syl.
dog. The cycle continues.
Syl, where are you going? You have a hat of disguise on yourself.
I do.
But you're still
So-
like a no-name dude. You just have a uniform now.
Hey, you know what? I through the years and through the missions I've learned, really, if you all you gotta do is pretend like you know what you're doing, and
Have a
carry a
clipboard.
clipboard,
Yeah, boy.
and no one will question you as long as you look like you're trying to get stuff done. and technically we're under attack. There's a lot of things going on. No one's really should be paying too close of attention. They see the uniform. They see that got everything on.
Give me a deception or a performance check. Your choice.
You said which ones? I'm sorry.
Deception or performance.
Oh, okay. And then may I, before you say anything, use my luck?
Your devil's luck?
Uh-huh.
To add a 1d10 to the skill check?
Yes.
Yeah, roll me a 1d10. Okay.
Nice.
You walk around the halls of this place, unsure where you're going, unsure what exactly you're doing. But you look the part, and as chaos and alarms are going off, as multiple groups of infiltrators are detected, a speakerphone from a squirrely sounding Hans the Trap Master, or he who stops the sewers from talking, makes a cry out for a man catcher. Can anyone grab a stick and just see what the fuck's going on in my sewers? You wander around. Do you have, like, an objective you're trying to accomplish now that you've successfully infiltrated this place?
I try to follow that noise, because I'm going to try to, see where he is. And hopefully, see who got caught. Since I'm in uniform, maybe I could pretend to help. Maybe. Like carry who or whatever, or bodies or dead
Are you saying you want to be the guy with the man catcher?
Oh my god.
I want to be the man catcher. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
There's no role playing here.
I want to be the man catcher so bad, John. Let me.
We will hand wave you getting taken down into the sewers with another group of essentially just bludgeoning tool wielding coppers from 1920. They hand you a man catcher and say, "All right, there's some doofus down there trying to blow up the tunnels. Go get him." And there you see Lei Stang.
Can I, you said, what are you doing down there? Can I try to intimidate and try to, be manly about it?
Lei Stang, you see some dumb fuck officer from Maelstrom.
I like that I'm unconscious in his net currently.
Okay.
I have 0 hit points. I'm in a net. He just caught me.
So, before you can even intimidate him, it's Lei Stang. You thought he could take one joking hit, but then you hit him with this tube. And he just keels over.
I'm not done with you. Let's slap him.
Oof.
The medic of the group comes over and is like, "We wanted him alive. Like, come on, man. Stabilize him."
I slap him in the face with healing hands.
Okay.
How much do I get that?
11 or 12. I can't remember.
Alright.
11.
Alright.
Okay. Lei Stang, you see this random guy who's dressed in Maelstrom uniform.
I give him a look good? Everything okay?
I don't think you know that this is Syl.
Huh?
I don't think you know this is Syl. This is a guy from Maelstrom, yeah.
Okay.
This is a dude who just knocked you unconscious. What's a fucking man catcher?
Okay, I thought it was but I can tell it's Syl. Okay. Oh, fuck. Am I...
Like, Stang, are you rolling for initiative right now?
Wait, am I strapped up in the man catcher right now? Am I not?
A man catcher is essentially just a hook with a pull in the center that someone can use to, keep someone from getting close to them.
Mind you, you fell on the ground because you went night-night.
You are prone right now.
All right.
But you guys could roll initiative right now.
Shit, he just brought me back, and they're probably just gonna arrest me when they realize I'm a thing. I think I'd rather that than deal with the exploding rat guy. I think I'm just gonna roll with it. And if I have to
Okay.
break out of jail again, I will. That's not a big deal, you know? Prison break to my thing.
After catching Leishtang, some of the other guards who gave you the man catcher in the first place, once you said you wanted to volunteer, will applaud you, saying, "Oh, good job, you caught the criminal. I'm sure the king will give you a promotion after this." Ha ha ha, they joke. Everyone knowing the king never gives out promotions to anyone.
Yeah, the king for how much longer, right?
True.
You said there's just that one guy?
Yeah, that's him.
Alright, so, rolled. Can I, shoot my Eldritch Blast 3 times into his chest?
You want to kill Leishtang in front of these dudes? And break
No.
your cover?
What the fuck?
No, the guards.
Oh, you want to start a fight with the guards?
Yeah, I'm gonna take him out.
Alright,
Take 'em
Syl
out.
begins combat with the guards. I am not willing to run this encounter, however, and we are going to move on. Syl will either shoot his way out of this predicament, dragging Leishtang with him, or they will be caught, captured, and then have to make a run for it regardless. Syl's cover is blown. And we go back to Runt. Runt, you draw your dagger, you rolled for initiative, and that's all that you remember as you wake up having been kicked incredibly hard within the chest. Your knife is beside you. You are laying on your back, coming to, as you stare at this disc. The platform. What do you do?
I pick up my dagger and I go for the disc.
You crawl. Ugh. Your legs hurt as you slowly stand to your feet. You touch the disc. And as you do, you have this strange sensation course through your body, as if a static shock just struck you. As if you just connecting it completed a circuit. As lightning courses through your body, you instinctively let go of it. This is a shrine to an elemental. Apparently some sort of teleportation circle. And on the other side, it is either blocked, or the one controlling it does not let you pass. As anger and frustration rush through your mind, you did the right thing, right? It's out of your hands now. And also, where the fuck is your book? That thing's gone.
My book.
Did King Maelstrom steal How to Make Friends?
If you're the king doesn't mean you have friends.
Giga Chad.
You needed it the most.
Little did you all know that's all he needed in the end. A friend.
Runt will just keep putting his hands over and over. Eventually, like the staff he once tried to hold, that small force field, just enough force to push him and keep him away, but he will keep trying over and over and over again to try and force it, even though he knows it's fruitless.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 19.
You put your hand upon the teleportation circle fully and leave it there. The magnetic field stopping as after your third or fourth attempt. And as you do so, you feel a tugging sensation. Your vision goes black briefly as the thunder and the rain and the storm surround you. Once you feel as if you're perpetually falling. There's no land beneath you, but you're surrounded by these dark clouds. You're being struck by rain. You are almost deafened as thunder booms nearby. Lightning flashes, blinding you briefly. And you think you see them. Two hollow sections of the cloud which form and crackle with light, permanently staticking over in a very loose formation that reminds you of two eyes looking at you. You hear a voice in your mind deafen you. A single question of what?
I can't just let him do this. I have to be there. Let me in.
You fall. And then you suddenly stop as you are on a field of clouds. You look up at the endless sky above you, having been disoriented. You didn't fall, you were lifted. Your back slams down on what is both soft and feels like it can not hold your weight, but somehow does. You see sparks come up, touching your skin, your clothing, as you slowly find your feet and footing. You're standing on top of the storm, the maelstrom. And you see them. King Maelstrom and his prince fighting it out. Long swords are drawn, lightning crackles between them both. There is a strange sense that fills your heart. Go ahead and give me an insight check as well.
Okay. 19.
God. 219s
This
in a
is-
row.
It's narrative. It's important to me, Jonathan.
The narrative wanted this to happen, it seems. You look at a father and son who, to your knowledge, have never once really spoken to one another, fighting to the death. And for the life of you, you don't think you've ever seen the prince or the king as happy as they are now. They are looking at each other in the face. Yes, they are fighting to the death, but they know each other now. Are you one to interrupt this duel? One might call it a duel of fates.
Fuck you. He will, when he first drops in on the clouds, will stammer and shake his legs, feeling like jelly, trying to get his footing. And then seeing this, seeing two family members truly understand each other in a way that no one else ever will or ever can. Knowing that's something he hasn't had or will ever have himself, but that it's something he could take away. He will just sheath the dagger that he has in his hands, and he'll just kind of fall to his knees. And he'll just kind of He will crawl for a little bit, still like having this almost instinctual momentum, this need to keep moving forward, but it will slowly die out. And at some point, lowered to a crawl on all fours, barely moving inches at a time, his eyes never leaving this battle. Eventually, he'll just kind of fall over exhausted. His eyes will kind of stay glued on the fight, but they will glaze over as he does everything he can to kind of fight the exhaustion, but will ultimately still be many feet away, unable to interact or intercept anything happening.
Then you watch. Two swordsmen infused by the lightning storm that stands below you. Two mortal humans in an endless cycle of death and inheritance do battle. A thought strikes you, perhaps alien or foreign to your mind. How lonely it must be up here as the king. Living on a throne, a symbol to his people, committing duties, atrocities. King Maelstrom, for nearly 80 years, dominated the skies over Ugarast. You've seen what that had done to them, a city fueled by hatred. You've watched all the lives that this one king affected, but for the entirety of it, he was alone. You saw the catacombs. You saw dead prince after dead prince after dead prince, and then finally a king. A cycle that seems to consume so many lives. And then, in a single moment, it consumes another. You're unsure if the prince was a better swordsman, or if the king intentionally threw down his weapon to be stabbed to death in the chest. But as his blade falls onto the cloud and then sinks beneath, lightning continues to strike out, grabbing the flesh of the king, disintegrating him bit by bit by bit, until there is nothing left. The prince stands, holding his sword in the fixed position of where he stabbed his father, until a singular bolt of lightning strikes upwards and encases him in light. You hear a voice once more as your vision fades to white. The elemental speaks, maybe comments. I hope you're happy. In rut. The exhaustion, the emotional turmoil, being attacked by a bunch of fucking ratmen the night before. Are you happy?
Getting on his elbows and trying to prop himself up. The last thing he does before he passes out as he just screams into the sky. Yes. Yes. And then he just falls flat on his face. Nothing left.
The static discharge that supported you is no longer there as you fall. And as that sense of failing and falling transitions, you slam on your back. You startle awake as you look up at the sea cave before you, where you will be shocked, I suppose, literally awake by the static electricity of your prince, who now holds his father's crown in his other hand. And we are going to do a little silly thing known as a time jump right now. We're going to break the narrative sequence, the linear storytelling, and skip a few days. Of course, you eventually walk up on shore or clamber back into the harbor, where you will be rejoined by Bilbo at his assassin's estate. Well, the assassin's estate, not his. He's not an Bilbo can't be an assassin, surely. They have more or less kidnapped Leishtung and Syl when they made their daring escape out of the sewers, jumping the 3 guards who had been to witness them, and then running away quickly before more could be summoned. They tell you news that apparently there's a new king in town. And his first ambition is to rid Maelstrom of all the rats and induct the poor peasant class, once ignored for generations, into proper citizens.
Looks like we're gonna still have a lot of work to do, but it worked. Hell yeah.
So it would seem.
I'm like looking at Bran, who's like, we're like helping me like kind of stand because I'm like on my last leg. Or so, I'm sorry.
Someone did work. Has anyone seen Runt?
We do another cutaway of days after that question being asked of Runt. Recuperating within a medical wing, having apparently suffered 3rd-degree lightning burns all throughout his body. Just due to the transportation of
Permanent
the
scarring.
You guys ever see when someone gets hit by a literal bolt of lightning and they have like those like lines on them?
No?
Yeah. Oh, well, look up lightning strike tattoo or not tattoos.
Have you seen lightning when they do it to like wood and it burns the wood and crackles across it? Same thing. What would happen to your skin? Yeah.
Lightning strike scars. Yeah, he's got like that like everywhere now. Like Harry Potter had like a cool lightning bolt symbol on his forehead. He's like literally got. It almost looks like face paint from how red it is along his face.
Yeah, you Palpatined yourself.
He's just covered
it's like
in
a jellyfish
and
like,
healing salves right now.
Pack them.
Yeah, exactly.
Runt has been mummified, even though he's still alive. The prince, in these days, has been visiting briefly to sit with you, talk with you for a few minutes out of his day, keep you updated. But for the most part, he's dedicated to getting rid of all the fucking rats inside of his town and bring in the citizens to be actual citizens. For generations, the poor, the downtrodden, and the people fighting the sinking city never been counted. They've been an extorted base where people can fight for survival and get consumed by the mud. And one of his ambitions was to undo that policy. Once that mission is complete of ending the threat, destroying Greg if he's still here, which he might have fled from, his own goals unknown or defeated. Well, then he will join the Tyrant of Tolst as his agreement needs to be fulfilled.
Finally, my 10th IRL month-long quest has finally been completed!
Indeed. Why don't you go ahead and set your experience to whatever level 11 is?
Okay.
Ace.
Why don't you all do that?
Hey,
Except for Syl, of course, because he's already level 11.
That would be fucked up. Put it back down.
You
I've
have
also
all
removed
caught up
off nail
to Syl.
polish.
The nail
As I'm
polish.
Hey,
giving
you
that
got-
back.
you
Yeah, I
got
gave
your
back the nail polish.
You do so.
The time was not right.
It's true. Things will be a-changing here in Maelstrom. And there is an offer given to each and every one of you. If any of you want a ride home, the prince can accomplish that and send you back to Tolst. Or you could stay here and help see things through for the foreseeable future.
You sure you're right offering us that with the rat problem still around?
One ship. Emissary duties, diplomats have to be sent to other countries as well. He'll probably send people to Big Stinky and Sanctuary if it still stands. Maybe even the Forge of Alvin, if they are still accepting any emissaries from any other country.
If Recorus is given this offer, he would rebut the offer with, I would prefer the simple, quiet life in Mystere and have an invitation to go back. I would be interested in tracking down a couple scrolls of sending, but outside of that, the quiet life in Mystere is much more alluring than the thunderous life that one lives in Maelstrom.
Then he will promote you to Chief Emissary and send you to Mystere, where you will have essentially no obligations, but if they ask you to send a message, then it will be up to you to relay it to him or his newly admitted court wizard. We actually do have more time than I thought, Brandon, so why don't we go ahead and do
Beautiful.
your idea. After a few weeks before Runt makes his decision, Runt, you will be promoted to Baron. You are a now official landowner within Maelstrom. He bequeaths you land outside of the Storm's territory, because all territory underneath the Storm is his. And there's nothing worth growing there. But Maelstrom's sphere of influence is huge, and many nobles have many estates everywhere. There is one house that is trying to sell off their stuff anyway, and they're like, hey, take my shit. It is a forest that has apparently materials underneath it, but Maelstrom people don't really invest in infrastructure, especially if they're nobility, and they can just extort the poor. But maybe times are a-changing, and you will have this land for all eternity, I suppose. You, your family, your heirs.
Until someone else claims the land.
Do you wish to take on a new name, Baron Runt? It is tradition, after all.
You know, let me just look at what I've got. Because I think he absolutely would. I just don't know.
Grunt.
What is
Brunt.
Grug? What is the opposite of Bane?
Bless.
Batman?
Like an antonym.
What's an antonym?
Opposite.
Attract.
Yeah, I think it would be blessing. A blessing would
Bless.
be. Yeah.
Okay. Then
Yeah,
Xavier.
blessing, boon.
Yeah. Xavier Talisbane will formally change his name and will refer to himself in a professional setting as Baron Talisboon instead of Talisbane, and will work to make his estate a small, well, not, he'll make it an orphanage where he will teach the any of like the poor or lesser kids who would normally get thrown, or like young adults who normally get thrown to the mud wolves, as it were, will instead teach them various things about how to live, survivalist tactics, basically a hunter academy, but instead of fighting spirit beasts, it's just how to live and how to defend yourself with different kind of branches, like almost like a formal military academy.
I see.
And
That
he will
will be interesting to see, but we'll
Yeah.
get into the details in Sunsets next time.
Yes.
This is just a pure reward that he gives you. After all, it would not be a good image for a king to have a friend that was not noble himself. Syl! You got a fucking statue. You are getting a statue within the court. He's going to make it a centerpiece of a winged angelic being who is killing demons.
With a bottle of Daddy's Happy Juice?
It'll be on like it'll be like an accent to the statue close to the back.
That's fair.
Yeah. He has commissioned it. He will be having someone craft it in the following years.
I like it.
Lei Stang.
That's all.
You want to get out of here? Yes. Is it time to go home? Or are you staying in Maelstrom? You have dogs
Think
to
of the
get, bro.
doggies.
Yeah, and someone has to report all this to Tyrant. And if you guys are staying, I'm gonna get back.
All the hunters look around and be like, "But we're going back."
Yeah, we're going
Oh
back.
shit. There you go.
Well, you can come with us.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm talking mostly about my team. It seems like Runt and like is gonna settle down here. Right?
Yep.
Ricoris is in the ocean.
Oh no, I got out
He's
of
in
the
the
ocean.
mist.
So I'm not wearing plate, but I'm going to the mist.
Okay.
And if there is somebody who comes looking to find out how they will become king, I am to entertain them.
Yeah. And Syl looks like they're really entertained by the statue they're making of them. And I'm assuming it's gonna be really involved with that for a while.
Actually, no.
No?
No. Still has figured out that even though Jerome is dead, he's technically not dead, as we all know. Can't fucking die. So after figured out why he still can go pew pew. Really quick, is Rarick near me, John?
I don't know where Rarick or Chad is. I was gonna have them do that shit next time.
Just in case.
Yeah, that's a next week. We'll see.
Well, no,
Okay.
just in case.
Next time,
I wanted to make sure I still had magic.
you do. Yes.
Obviously, I rolled a 17, John. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
But no, since he's kind of tired of being other people's pawns, And he's going to. I think he's going to kind of just shed everything and move into focusing on becoming a lich.
Okay.
And start with, you got to start a cult, obviously.
Of course. And also, you have all your wealth back in Tulsa, so you need to drop by there no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Get your guy, your potion maker, liquidate all your assets in the city, and then go start a quest.
I'm taking him with me, by the way.
Who wouldn't?
He's my sidekick.
Either way, Syl and Leistung seem to be willing to board the airship and say goodbye to whoever else wishes to stay here. The prince will reward you both. Leistung, he will give you a heavy suitcase that he wants you to deliver to Tolst, or to the tyrant specifically.
Roger.
As well as just a flat gold sum that he will give you.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. You are welcome. You both are welcomed in Maelstrom at any time. Chad, I assume, would also get on the boat, but I'm going to wait for him next week so that we can do that.
He has a script to read.
Indeed.
We will have a new shanty for the raid.
No, he's reading whatever Bran was thought he was quoting. They're quoting. They're gonna read that script. Devin is.
As rewards and platitudes are handed out, and the world keeps on turning from day to night and day to night, we will find out how the God War ends for your team next week on City States of Klovisa, ; the God War. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Devin and Nick unfortunately could not make this session, but they will have probably like an hour next time to get through all their stuff. Hopefully that'll be enough time. Next week, we are going to sunset all of our characters and then do some end-of-campaign questions for each other, for me, for anyone in the chat. So, Dammer, probably. Any shout-outs you guys want to make before we head on out?
Maybe Brian will be there.
Hey, John. Guess what level I am? I'm a spellcaster that's high enough level to cast Erupting Earth.
And so the cycle of vengeance starts anew.
Not erupt. Actually, the other 3rd level spell that I got to see from that same episode is Lightning Bolt.
Very nice.
Hey, did the prince, the new king, give so anything?
Gave you a fucking statue.
A statue.
Yeah, I saved his life. That was what that was for. I also just helped to make him king. Like, I did a 2-for-1 for free, okay?
He destroyed the bounty that would be on your head for murdering 3 guards of his city.
Fair.
He did also offer you other 2 things, like right after the Greg fight.
Yeah. Either way, any last shoutouts we want to make? Anything we want to call into the
thanks
void?
Thanks for having me on the game. We played a couple times on Greg's stream, and then brought into the Monday stream. And y'all are beautiful, and I appreciate it very much. It has been a great year and a half, and look forward to more.
Thank you
You
so
know,
much,
John,
Eric.
Big
You
shout
better
out
be
to
here
you.
next week as well. Not on your fucking phone.
I will be here. Yeah, I will be at home next week. Yeah.
Thank God. I want to see your beautiful face. That's what I want.
The Vegeta haircut that's back.
Indeed. CK, any shoutouts you want to say? Anything?
Shoutouts to you. Shoutouts to the boys at home. Shoutouts to all the homies you have to kiss goodnight. That's what I got. That's all I gotta say. For real. That shoutouts to my boys in my crib. You know what it is. Gang.
For real.
Alrighty, guys, we're heading on out. But
Look him if you got him.
true. Have a good night. And don't
Bye.
die. Bye.